Yeah, I mean, tough game for us. Our guys appreciate we had a lot of young guys, a lot of opportunities for guys to go out there and play in the course of the game. Give Oklahoma credit, did a great job. Look at them. Made a bunch of explosive plays, ran the ball well, made some plays in the pass game. Played disciplined football. You look, I mean, really weren't penalized. We had a lot more penalties than they did as well. We turned the ball over a couple too many times, which you can't do playing good teams. So, but a lot of guys got some really good experience for us out there tonight.
Okay, we'll go ahead and take questions. And again, we ask that you use the raised hand function to indicate you'd like to ask a question. The first question will come from E.G. Thompson. Go ahead.
Dan, what's a fair takeaway for people from this game? I mean, for your team, Kyle Trask, the future of the program after the performance like this?
Yeah, I think the future's really bright, I mean, you look, we had a lot of guys get an opportunity to get experience on the field tonight, go play. We were down Kyle Trask, I couldn't be prouder of him and the season that he had with our team this year. A special year for him coming out, what he was able to accomplish during the course of this year, I thought was really special. So I'm really happy for him. You're talking about a young guy that is came in. I think only played a couple plays in his career before he even graduated college. Didn't play much in high school. And now he's a Heisman Trophy finalist, and he's going to be an NFL draft pick. So says a lot about him. For the program, I'm excited. We have, like I said, I mean, you look at the experience we're able to get out there on the field tonight, all the different young guys, a lot of the guys that were out there playing tonight were on the scout team most of the year for us. So very few guys that were playing had even really, we kept things simple. Some simple things for them because they just even haven't really had the chance to play with the within the normal game plan week. So some really good experience for those guys, and a lot that we can teach off of with that group.
Okay, the next question will come from Cassidy Hill. Go ahead.
Hey Dan, yeah, kind of just building off of that, you knew coming into this game it was going to be young guys and a lot of young guys. Can you see now maybe where there are some depth issues in certain positions and where other you might have to recruit a little bit differently this next cycle?
Well, I think, it's hard to say that really, with the number of people that were out for the game, we were under numbers actually. To be honest with you, I guess we could have said I give our guys credit. We had the numbers to not play the game. You see a lot of games have been canceled and not played. But our young guys, I was really excited. They wanted to go play in that game, and they wanted to get that experience. They want to be on that stage. And so I think you're able to see us by playing so many players tonight. Guys have experience. There's stuff now that they know that they can go build off of and learn from. They know now, hey, when I step on the field in a big game against a great football team, there's certain things that, when I was recruited, when I was playing high school football, the last time I was really on the field, it wasn't like this, and it's a very different game. And so I think there's a lot of those little things that our guys had the opportunity to learn, and they'll be able to take that experience with them as we get going into spring football.
Your next question will come from Pat Welter. Go ahead, Pat.
Dan, this season had such high expectations, and you guys really accomplished some great things along the way. Obviously, this is a sour note, and there were some really glaring mistakes in some other games too. So how should this team be remembered?
Well, you know what? I would have loved to have played the season we were supposed to play with the team we were supposed to have this year. But unfortunately for COVID, we weren't able to do that. I think it's a pretty special team right now. And when you look back at what we do, I don't know. I look at the games that we played with the team that we were supposed to have, which were a few this year. SEC championship game, I think that was we were close to having our team. The Georgia game, we kind of had our team. There were some games in the season where we had our team playing, and then there were a bunch that, some that we didn't, just for all the extenuating circumstances that happened. But, to me, during the course of the year, I kind of viewed, I guess maybe this is wrong. I viewed this game that wasn't the 2020 football team that you saw. I mean, there are about 25 guys missing off the 2020 football team out there tonight. That was kind of like a kickstart for us for the future, and the opportunity for young guys to go play, and us, even with me, with all the coaches. I wanted to make sure. I think you saw a lot of different guys on the field, us rotate a lot of different players in different situations, and a lot of that was for me to get to evaluate guys and for us to be able to teach those guys moving forward. So, I don't know. That's how I kind of view this game. Not really. I view the last game. The last team the 2020 team played was 11 days ago.
All right, your next question will come from Mike Bianchi. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, Coach. Do we need to start looking at bowl games differently with all of the opt-outs? And does that take some of the luster of a bowl game from the team itself?
Well, I think that's an interesting question, Mike, and I don't have the answer for you that right now because I think this is such a unique year. You're talking about a bowl game that we played on 11 days rest. We didn't really get to have the full bowl experience, which I think is, one of the things that make the bowl game so special is the bowl game's a reward for the end of your season, opportunity for young guys to come somewhere, to be places. I know there's so many stories about it, but a simple one. One year we were playing in the Orange Bowl, and not last year, earlier in my career, and that guys is like, hell, you have a day they bring you to the beach, they treat you to the beach, and guys are like, this is the first time I've ever seen the ocean. And that there's a learning experience in that for college students. I thank the Goodyear Cotton Bowl people. I mean, a very short time we were here, the hospitality was unbelievable. The people took care of us, everything we need. They bent over backwards to try to help and make this game happen. And I think it is so special that we're able to make these games happen. But I think your question is a much bigger question, Mike, which is the future of college football and the direction college football is heading. Now, I think you see a lot of opt-outs, but you saw whole teams opt out. I mean, whole teams not play this year. It's a very different year. In our past two bowl games that we've played before this year, in those two combined, we had one player opt out and not play. So I don't know if this year is kind of a unique anomaly for what it is. I don't know if that's going to be the future, but I think college football really needs to do a lot of evaluating. And I'm a traditionalist. I think everybody knows I'm a traditionalist. I love college football. I love college football history. I love the game. I love the passion. I love that everybody has, the fans, the people. I love bowl games. I love all of the history and tradition involved in college football. But things are changing. And I think one thing that we have to do is sit there and say, okay, if we can't hold on to the past, how do we forge into the future, reevaluate, and rethink the games? And ask me in a couple weeks because I have a couple thoughts on that, but this isn't the time or the place to go into that.
All right, your next question comes from Matt Baker. Matt, your line is open.
Hey Dan, if you said this is kind of a kickstart for the future, what do you see for the future of your defense tonight?
You know what? I think I'm really excited that some guys got some experience out there to go play. A bunch of those guys been on the scout team all year, like I said. So, I'm looking out there. Kamar Wilkinson should be finishing up his senior year in high school, and he's playing corner in the Goodyear Cotton Bowl. And so I think there's a lot of things that we can grow off of, and those guys now, guys that have, played played minimum snaps throughout a season, guys that were at best in backup roles, majority of who were on the scout team for most of the year, so they didn't even get to run our defense, got opportunities to go play in a big-time atmosphere in a big game on the defensive side of the ball. And I think there's a lot of those things that guys can learn from, and we can build off and take that into the future for this team. And I think we have a very young defense that I'm very excited about.
All right, next question will come from Nick Delatorre. Go ahead, Nick.
Hey, Coach. We've been asking you about evaluating your coaching staff. Given your comments about this game and how young you were and the opt-outs, do you evaluate them off of this game and this performance, or what you guys have done the previous 11?
I evaluate everything in our program. You know, this season's now over officially, and so I evaluate every aspect of our program, you know, as we move forward.
All right, your next question will come from Zach Goodall. Zach, your line is open.
Hey Dan, with Emory Jones and even Anthony Richardson entering the game, you mentioned Kyle Trask is going to become a draft pick. So with that, what did you see from them and how you can build upon their performance moving forward?
Well, I think this. I think, you know, I mean, Emory obviously has gotten a lot of experience. You know, I think Emory has learned an awful lot. Sitting there with Kyle Trask, I mean, he has learned to prepare, to develop, to be ready. And I'm really excited to see what he's going to bring to the table here moving forward within the offense. And the same with Anthony. Anthony, just a young guy. I mean, you know, I'm really excited about us getting going in the spring and seeing a lot of these guys out here on the field, especially at the quarterback position. We have a couple of young quarterbacks coming in that'll be enrolling in school in a couple of weeks, and you have, I think today you saw the excitement. And both Emory and Anthony are very different style quarterbacks than Kyle. Which, you know, I think, as everybody knows, we always play to the strengths of our players. So, I mean, we'll run. There'll be a lot of similarities and a lot of differences in our offense next year. But we're going to build around the strengths of those guys. And, you know, and then, you know what? I mean, you look at this right now. Anthony Richardson's throwing a touchdown pass in the Cotton Bowl against Oklahoma. Emory Jones has played in a lot of big games and a lot of big moments. So he's, you know, I mean, he has the experience and he's really learned how to prepare to get ready to take over that main role. And, you know, I'm excited. I hope we get back a little bit back to normal and we're able to have a spring practice and an off season to go develop. I mean, you know, we're just I'm talking to a bunch of the guys and you look at this. I mean, you look at Kyer Elam's really the leader of our secondary moving forward. He's never had a spring practice, not one spring practice a day in our life. And he is our veteran leader in the secondary. He's never had a spring practice. Not one. So I think I am really excited about all of these guys in life, hopefully getting a little bit back to normal as these guys continue to grow and develop to see what type of team we're going to have next year.
We have a follow-up from Edgar Thompson. Go ahead, Edgar.
How many guys, because you said you might have been under, and also, do you think this was fair to Kyle Trask in this situation? I mean, that he was put in?
Yeah, I mean, situations are what they are. I don't know if there's anything that's fair or unfair. I don't know that anybody in the world is going to say this past year has been fair to them. So, to be perfectly honest with you, and that's not just football. That's everything in the world, and that's life. There's a lot of people that have gone through a lot tougher things. You know, I mean, I'm really proud of all our guys and how they've handled this year, but there's a lot of people who have gone through a lot tougher things than that. Kyle's a competitor. You know, he wanted to go out there and play. You know, I think a little bit different. I mean, he's going to be playing with a whole bunch of new receivers next year. So I think he's always learning. He's always trying to improve. He's always trying to get better. And that's just the character and who he is. That's what's going to make him successful in the National Football League next year. So, no, I mean, I don't know if fair has anything to do with anything.
We have a follow-up from Cassidy Hill. Go ahead, Cassidy.
Hey Dan, going back to Emory, I think he had 11 plays on that long 16-play drive, and then we didn't really see him. Did that have anything to do with him being sick? It looked like
No, that was like you got to get in shape or something like that. You know what I mean? You're going to play those long drives right now. He's used to going in for a couple plays here and there and getting a breather and some water. It was, you know what? Like I said, we were going to play a lot of people. He was in. He had a couple plays. We just let him in to go finish the drive. You know, I mean, to be honest with you, I talked to Kyle at halftime. I said, I'm going to let you play the first series and make a decision in the second half. But I mean, to share you, Kyle, I mean, he wanted to play. And, you know, it says a lot to him. I mean, after the first series, I just said, hey, you know, I want to give these other guys an opportunity. We're building right here within this course of this game. That's what we're looking to do coming into it. You know, and so the, you know, but I mean, I don't want to underplay what an amazing year, you know what, and to be honest with you, what amazing career he has had, and I think a lot of people look at a career. You've had an unbelievable career. This guy, I was here with Tim Tebow, had an unbelievable career. But Tim Tebow played, won national championships as a freshman, and Heisman as a sophomore. Played, started, played a lot right from day one. Kyle Trask had an unbelievable career because of the adversities he overcame. The character he had to get to where he is, boy, that is special. You know what? That is something that is special. And I think everybody's pretty confident Kyle Trask, whether it's in the National Football League or it's in any aspect of life, is going to be extremely successful.
All right, next question comes from Pat Welter. Go ahead, Pat.
Dan, you mentioned all the players that were missing that you could have, not played the game if you wanted to. I wonder if you could just kind of fill us in on what the makeup of that was. We knew about the receivers opting out, but,
You're down to the D-line. We didn't have enough D-line to play. Dante Lang ended up playing. He was, we had to kind of scramble to get him medically cleared, so we would have been under the D-line number, interior D lineman that they have. They never put a number on secondary players, but, we would have, if they ever did, we would have been under that of, I guess, So, there's a lot of breakdown of different things. You look, there were a lot, as you guys saw, there were just, a lot of guys that hadn't played before playing tonight. But, part of the whole deal was us talking to the team, and those guys wanted the opportunity to go out there and play, and one of those opportunities to go out there and grow, and one of the opportunity to go out there and compete. And now, there's an awful lot we can learn from those guys in this game.
And a final question will come from Nick Delatorre. Go ahead, Nick.
Hey, Dan. A lot of fans were disappointed just the way the season ended. What would you tell them? Obviously losing 3 games isn't the way you wanted to end the season. What would you just tell the fan base in terms of this season and the future of the program?
Yeah, I think, we just went to our 3rd straight New Year's Six bowl game. We played for the SEC championship this year. I think we're headed in the right direction, and can't wait to see the Gators Nation pack the swamp. Hopefully we're healthy enough to pack the swamp, and I know all the Gator fans are going to be fired up for the future of this program.
All right, that'll do it for you, Coach. Thank you for your
Thank
time.
you.